stream. Let's see if we are up there. Do, do, do. Do, do, do.
Ben's killing me.
Yeah, we are. We're there, Vic.
Rocking around the Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. Mistletoe hung where you can see every couple tries to stop. Good afternoon, Nichola McLeod.
I did, just so you know, I did ask Vic how long she's going to sing these Christmas songs to, and her answer was until you join in, which is like when hell freezes over. So looks like we're going to put up with this for quite a while. Um, Welcome to episode 5 of things we probably shouldn't say. Today is the beautiful Victoria's turn to pick the topic. I can't wait to find out what you're going for.
It is. Right. So we're going to do something that I'm really, really good at and you're getting better at, right? So it's
Oh,
something
okay.
you've always praised me for, right?
I give praise. I didn't know I did that.
People don't know you as well as I do, okay? So the topic of the day is how to beat the clocks.
How to beat the clocks. What's that mean?
So I've just spiced it up. It's time management, Nick, right? It's time management. But I thought we'd make it a little bit spicier, being it's Friday and it's nearly Christmas.
Love it. Love it. Time management. Yeah, you are pretty right. The reason I think you're pretty good at this, right, is not that traditional time management, read every book under the planet. I've never known anybody work as few hours and get so much done.
So I don't know whether you're calling me lazy or productive, but we're going to go with it.
It was productive. It was one of my backhanded compliments. Productive, super productive. So, seeing as you picked the topic, I'll go into my learning curve in a minute. Like, two things. Can you explain, like, what you do? And then, secondly, like, the how and the why you do it? Because you never cease to amaze me with what you get done.
Right, so basically, first things first, you need to be organised that suits your personality, right? That's a massive thing because finding what organises your brain is then what makes you work really proactively, quickly, but also efficiently. And that's where we need to be. A big thing I think people get hung up on is I haven't worked 8 hours today, I haven't done a day's work. And actually, it's rubbish because what you should be doing in a day's work has nothing linked to the hours that you put in. It's actually what is coming out of that day. So you could have two people side by side, they could both work 8 hours. One would get a huge list of things done, the other one would get a small list of things done. But they think they've had the same impact because they've both worked the same amount of time. And it's not right. So I'm better off working an hour and a half to 2 hours maximum before having a couple of hours off. Then I'll do it again. And the reason I do that is because the amount of effort and energy that goes into that 2 hour working period, I don't get distracted in that time. It's super focused, it's super high energy, it gives my all to that task. But then I need downtime and recovery time, or I need to switch tasks to something easier in between. What do you think, Nick?
Uh, I think a couple of things you've said that I just think like really need underlining. First one is how you need to organize yourself in a way that suits you. Something that we're both really, really passionate about. And it's the beauty of working with somebody else is you have a unique individual style and you need to go and try things on and see if they fit you. Because just because Vic might look stunning in a bikini, I can assure you if I put the same bikini on, I ain't going to look stunning.
Why would you use that example? Like,
Because like you do look stunning in a bikini, and I'll never know because I'm never trying one on. But it is that whole just because it looks great or just because it works for somebody doesn't mean that you're broken if it doesn't work for you. You just need to tap into that tool, that way of working that really, really works for you. And you're right, being organized is so important, but don't try and be someone else's organized. It needs to be like what works for you. What is the bit that taps in? And something that we've definitely found working together is I know if I want Vic to do a task that she's not going to enjoy, because we all have stuff that we're not going to enjoy, I need to put it into an organized format that suits her way of working, and all of a sudden like the number 10 on a scale if I don't want to do will reduce down to like a number 6. It's not going to get rid of the fact that she doesn't want to do it, but it really, really helps. And vice versa, I'll be stuck on something, and the number of times Vic can just give me like a sentence that I'm like, oh right, that isn't difficult now because it
I've got a
organizes it.
prime example for that as well.
Yeah.
So when we do a lot of creative thinking at work, when we're trying to create new modules, create new trainings, we aren't textbook with anything. So all of the effort that comes out of us goes into all of the trainings, and we don't just go, right, we're going to take this theory, we're going to pad it out, we're going to put it in this thing. What we tend to do is get a huge bit of paper, and we'll put loads of different ideas and experiences that we've had, learnings we've had, books that we've read, everything that we've learned about this topic. We'll then hash it out on a huge bit of paper, like whiteboard style, and then that's how we then build the training from there. So it's a lot of rounded thinking that goes into that. Now, Nick cannot do on the spot creative thinking at all. It's not a strength of hers. It's something that she can openly talk about, but she can't have that initial bing, like light bulb idea. So for me to get that out of her quickly, because everything I do has to be quick, right? It's got to be within a timely manner because I get bored within 10 minutes. So everything I do has got to be quick. So for me to get that out of her, I can't just give her the blank bit of paper and say, Nick, this is what we need to do today. What I need to do is physically draw the middle of the spider diagram, put the arrows on, and put one key caption in the middle. Hand it over and she's done it. But without that, she can't then move forward, and it takes her so long just to vision that. So it's about catching what suits each person, isn't it, really?
And I think the other thing that you're really superb at, Vic, is now you will freely label yourself as lazy. That whole thing, like, if you want to get it done, find a lazy person
Give it to
yourself.
me.
I'm
If there's
sure.
a long task, give it to me because I'll tell you what, I'll find you the easy way of doing it.
And you seem to have a really good ability of being able to that squash an awful lot of work into that short period of time where I'm like, bloody hell, Vic was on fire today because she's churned out what would probably take me a week to churn out in a like 2.5 hour block. But to your point, you're then useless after that because it is that week's worth of my brain power that's gone into that really short period. How long did it take you to realize your way of work, like how your brain works and giving yourself those breaks that you need, Vic?
Years. Like that's not even an exaggeration either. Like it's absolutely years, and it goes from starts off with in the employment sector, right? You're employed. So you're employed for a certain amount of hours per week. So when you're stuck in that mindset of, right, I have to work until 4:30, that's when my contract is. When you're stuck in that, that is where your hours of working per day then sticks with you, especially then when you move from employment to self-employment. You're almost sat at desks thinking, I haven't worked hard enough today because I have not been sat at my laptop, not been doing this, delivering leaflets. Like I haven't been doing that for a solid 8 hours. And actually, when you're self employed, your brain never really switches off. So you are constantly working anyway because you're either thinking of new ideas, you're quickly getting back to someone on a text, you're doing little bits and bobs throughout the day anyway. So it's never do your 2 hours work and then you have 6 hours off. It's just you're not focused within that time, and that's a big thing. So understanding the difference between working time and focus time was the light bulb moment for me, because I could be sat at my desk for 8 hours and I could just be there readily available for anyone to give me a ring, answer text messages if they need support, if they need emails written back to them, like anything like that. Yes, I can do that constantly within an 8 hour period. But for me to actually create a project, for me to actually finish something that's worthwhile, it needs to be my focus time. And just getting used to that is a huge thing. So when you're self-employed and you become successful in your self-employment, your income goes up. Now, when my income was rising, I was actually working less. So I was working more for less income. Now I work less for more income. Now that shift, you start thinking about, actually, it's that imposter syndrome, right? Am I worthy of this income when I've only worked 10 hours this week? And actually, that income it's a 40-hour-a-week income. But it's that balance. What you've learned along the way, everything that you've experienced, what you put into them 10 hours, that's years worth of work. And that's the value.
Excuse me. And that's what one of the things that we teach in our Elevate Unfiltered program is several different methods of time blocking, where I was using that bikini analogy. So there's different methods that you can try on to see which one works for you. And a lot of it is about understanding what type of worker you are. Like, when is your brain best? Is your brain best in the morning? Is it best in the afternoon? Is it best in the evening? Then going through and identifying what are those Vic mentioned about, like focus time. What are the tasks that actually need your focus? And then being able to pair up those really good solid working hours that you can do those focus tasks. Because and I've genuinely had to teach myself this from scratch, because I've spent over 25 years in the employed world, and my brain was 100% wired to, you need to work more hours. If you want to be successful, you need to work more hours. The route to success is putting the hours in. And to be fair, the first business that I started up with Andy, that genuinely was the approach that I took, and it led to success. So I was reinforcing the belief that I had, which we often do. But I have a new thing for me that's coming over the last couple of years, is having a mantra of the year of something of personal development that I want to work on. And 2025, I've spoken about it all year. I committed to it in January. It is, I want to do more work in less hours. So all year, I have been working on this whole philosophy that it isn't about the amount of time that I spend in my workspace, because I'm really old and I need a workspace to work in. Vic's really good at working on the move. It doesn't work for me. If I need to focus on something, I have to be in my cabin. Just the stupid way my brain works that I'm really comfy with. But what I found when I started looking at it is that, hell, I was spending a lot of time in here, but I wasn't getting a lot of work done, because it was almost like this compulsion to be in here. But I wasn't in the right frame of mind. I wasn't in a focused place. It wasn't like my best time of the day. I certainly didn't plan in any recovery time, and definitely didn't plan in a life. What I have discovered this year, through pushing myself to try all these different things on and see what works, is, Jesus Christ, you can get a lot done if you focus on the task and not the time. And every now and again I have a blip, and Vic helps me out with that blip, and it'll be, I don't want to be here today, but I've got stuff to do. And she literally coaches out of me, I need the specific things that you actually need to do today, Nichola. What are they? I need you to write them down. And you actually end up coming up with 3 things that are both urgent and important that you need to get done that day. And she's like, right, get those 3 things done, and then piss off, go and have a life. And I'm like, that's really easy. Why couldn't I do that by myself? But you can't always do it by yourself.
You can't, because you're stuck in that. It's just you're on that conveyor belt. You're just going round and round and round with the thoughts in your head, thinking, right, I've got so much stuff I need to get done. And you put everything as urgent because your body's in that urgent mode and you're in that urgency period. And you're like, right, I've got this huge list of things to do. Actually, is anyone going to die from it? Can you do it tomorrow? Can it wait until next week? And that leads me on to a huge tip that you actually covered a little bit of it in one of our modules, but it's about itemizing the tasks, the to-do lists, and everything. So itemizing it in lists. So regardless of how you do that list, digital, with colored pens, on paper, post-it notes, on the fridge, however you do it, right? Make sure you are writing every single thing that you need to get done in a week, a month, a day, an hour, like whatever it is. I don't know. This can be applied to any job, anywhere, any task, anywhere. And then you need to prioritize them in time. Okay, so what's going to take the smallest amount of time? They're your micro tasks. What's going to take your middle amount of time? They're your medium tasks. What's going to take the bulk of your time? They're your huge tasks, your big tasks. But then you've also need to look at sectioning those up with energy. So matching it with what energy it has. So some micro tasks, they might only take a few minutes, but they might need really high energy. And some of them might need really low energy. So we're just going to work through those 3 lists: micro, medium, huge. Don't know what names I've given them, but just whatever fits with you, right? But you're going to work out what are your high energy, what are your low energy on your lists. Then we're going to work out when we're best throughout the day. So I'm best in the morning. The minute I open my eyes, ding, I'm done. Nick, she's better actually in the afternoon, evening. She will procrastinate all morning and then she will be better in the afternoon, evening. By 4 o'clock, my brain's done. I'm finished. Like, I'm checked out. I'm out of here. Because then I put my mum hat on and I'm like, right, I'm off. And then I can do some micro tasks in the evening, but it can't ever be anything heavy lifting. So I always do my bulk tasks from 9 in the morning till 12. They are my key hours that suit my brain. So that's when I'm doing my high energy and my high impact tasks off my list. And then throughout the afternoon, if I have a little break or if I do need to get things done, I work on my medium and my micro, but I take out the tasks that are suitable for me at that time. And that is how you get a lot done, because you've got everything written out for you and you're picking what suits your mood. And what takes people a long period of time to get anything done is they're not matching the correct task to how they feel at that time. And they're then not being productive, they're not being time efficient, and they're just wasting not only their time, but everyone else's time. And it's setting the wrong expectation. So I just wanted to cover that, Nick, because that is something that I do all of the time, and it really helps.
I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned from you in my journey this year to get far more done in less time is I now put it, and this is how I want to emphasize it's going to be different for everybody. As you said, we have different methods of working. I now put my important but not deep tasks into the morning. So it is like, oh, I mustn't forget to go back to the accountant for doing that. Oh, I needed to do that reconciliation on the bank account. Oh, that rep needed me to follow up that query. Oh, I just need to pull that sheet together for Vic. She needed that information. It's copy and pasting. Like, get all that done in the morning. It's stuff that needs doing, but it's not deeply involved. I've ticked dozens of tasks off of my list, which always makes you feel really, really good. And in the afternoon, it will be that, like, right, one deep focus thing. And for some reason, I'm completely ready for it and it works better. It goes smoother. The other thing that we cover off in the training as well, another favourite of mine, is task layering. Because there's so many jobs like in your own business that need doing that require no attention whatsoever. Like, I mean, going back to an Avon business is like the easiest example. Prepping your brochures. You do not need a brain cell to do that. You really don't. It's the easiest repetitive task, but depending on how many books you're prepping, can take a reasonable amount of time. It could take 1 to 2 hours to prep them. To me, it's like I don't need my brain for this task. What could I use my brain for while I'm doing that task? It's a great time to catch up with a team member, like to do a phone call where you're actually adding value while you're mind-numbingly prepping books. It's a great time to listen to an audiobook or a podcast that really engages your brain. So it's like, oh, I don't have time to put in personal development. Well, actually, what repetitive tasks do you do that you are bored rigid of that you could engage your brain in some personal development? So that's what we mean by task layering. And I think in every business, there's that repetitive task that it's like that when you do a car journey. Like, I'm sure we're not meant to admit this to anyone, like, but you know, when you do the same car journey over and over again, I imagine it's the school run for you, Vic, and you do get to that point where you think, how did I get to this bit already? I don't remember. Now, you were paying attention because you haven't crashed. So you were, but you were definitely on autopilot. And your tasks within your business, you do genuinely go for some of them onto autopilot. How can you use your brain so you're fitting two things in at the same time and saving yourself? It's more time to go and have fun. It's more time to live your life, whether it's being with your kids, being with your dogs, having a laugh, going out for a drink. You've just saved all that time. So between the blocking, matching, and then layering, you've saved yourself so much time. You really, really have. It takes effort when you start doing these things that we've described to you today. But after a little while, it doesn't actually take any effort. It becomes the habit in itself, doesn't it? It becomes quite natural. Do you find that, Vic, that you don't even have to put effort into thinking this is the right time of day to do this task? It's not a conscious thought.
No, it is. So it was effort at the beginning, okay, like everything, when you're retraining your thoughts, because I really thought, so I became fully self-employed. It was 6 years ago. So I've always had like a little self-employed business alongside my employed work, but I actually have had no employment now for 6 years. So I had to really retrain my brain in that point because I thought, right, Mondays I was going to do this task, Tuesdays I was going to do this task, and I thought I would layer my week like that. It worked for the first 4 years, but then I completely burnt out because I was sat at my desk on my phone trying to do tasks over and over again to the point of where my body and my brain weren't functioning because they weren't suitable for me at that time. So that is when you have more thinking time. And this is the reason we bring these lessons to you, is because me and Nick have both burnt out. We've actually burnt out quite harsh. And to the point of where it's taken so much time, effort, and energy to rebuild ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves that we've had to really focus on all these mini lessons. And this is why we bring this to the table so raw, so ready, because we've been there, we've done that. And every single lesson that you guys listen to, take on board, pick out, everything, it's come from a place of where we've experienced that. These are the things that we have learned through million and one resources and put it into practice.
Definitely, definitely. So tomorrow is going to be a topic that I haven't even thought of yet. Oh, let me just really, really quickly have a look at the calendar and I can let you know. I should have looked at that a moment ago and I forgot. Just want to look at the calendar and see what time
I think
tomorrow.
it's 6 o'clock.
But it's right. I knew Saturday was 6 o'clock. What I didn't know was that tomorrow's
The
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, so we're coming to you live at 6 o'clock tomorrow, just before tea time. I believe that Victoria's doing lots of fun activities with the kids tomorrow, which, like, do you know what my
Putting
best
up my
work?
Christmas decorations tomorrow, guys. Don't judge me. It's the 5th.
Too late, far too late. What I love is my best working days of the week are Saturday and Sunday, and that's mainly because everybody else is living their best life, and I can get some solid focus
Can I
work
just
done.
say, you say everyone else, that's because I don't ring you on those 2 days, which is why they are your best working days, because you have absolutely no distraction from me.
Probably the truth in it.
Yeah.
But it's everyone else too, because they think that they should leave you to your weekend. The great thing is, when we finish this call, I'm actually buggering off to live my best life while everybody else is working, because that's the joy of being self-employed, isn't it?
Ta-da!
Yeah. So
Right,
see
we
you
will see you
tomorrow.
tomorrow, guys, 6 o'clock.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.